Some of the most meaningful jewelry you own isn't new. It's inherited. A ring from a grandmother, a necklace full of memories, but no longer your style. Duke's Jewelers reimagines family heirlooms into custom pieces you'll actually wear and love. Working one-on-one, Duke's designers honor the original story while creating something fresh and modern. Don't let meaningful jewelry sit unused. Let it live on beautifully. Visit Duke's Jewelers in Springville or online at dukesjewelers.com, where old stories become new treasures.
Derek Overstreet, founder of the New Millennium Group. We're a financial planning firm. We have advisors standing by right now to take your call. 888-999-6370. The reason you're going to want to call is we're going to help you retire 3 to 5 years before you thought possible. The way we do this is by putting together a step-by-step plan. So if you're one of those people listening and you'd like a plan in writing, give us a call at 888-999-6370. That's 888-999-6370, or go to utahsfinancialplanner.com.
Breaking down the teams you're passionate about. This is Scotty G and Friends on 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
You hear this song, you know what it means. The great Craig Bolerjack will join us, the highwayman himself, on the road in Houston. Hi, Bowler. How are you?
I'm good, Scotty. Tim, what's happening? Final long stretch here. 5 to go, 3 on the road, back home, L.A., Lakers, and what do you know? Done until summer and the draft. Can't wait.
Where does Houston rank on your cities?
That's a good question. I would say this hotel is high level. I would say it's in the upper third of, it's busy. I mean, I think it's like, top 4 or 5 cities population in America and rising quickly. But yeah, you get around pretty good if you stay close to the hotel, but out on the highway, you think we've got problems.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Houston's got problems.
Just be glad you're on the old charter and not trying to fly commercial out of there.
I got to get to Hobby. I got to get to Hobby real quick.
Yeah, you got that. Get there quick so you can wait 5 hours to get through security.
That's about right. Oh my gosh, I think isn't Hobby one of the biggest TSA log jams right now in the country? Yeah.
Hey, So by the way, Tim, I was an opportunity of a lifetime. Our good friend Jeremy Bruner, who called you up to do TV. He sends me a text, Utah State's playing San Diego State, and he said, hey, do you have a passport? Is your passport up to date? I'm like, yep. He's like, can I get you to Toronto on an overnight and call the Jazz game tomorrow? I'm like, hell yeah, let's go. And so I fly out to Toronto and get to the hotel, and let's just say it's Toronto, one of the most beautiful, iconic cities in the world. I'm staying at a really beautiful hotel. Call the game in Toronto. Awesome opportunity, Bowler. I was so sorry to hear that you were under the weather, but it didn't really break my heart too much, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, once a year I struggle with, I don't know, it's weird. I mean, you struggle. All of us do, trying to do, travel and hit a game and keeping healthy. And I finally said, it's just not fair to go out and have people listen to a guy that can't talk. So JB got you to Toronto, and I met the team in Indy, and it all worked out. And I'm glad it did, pal. I'm glad it did.
But so I stay at one of the nicest hotels in Toronto. Call the NBA.
Are you the one that ran ran up my bill in the room?
Let's not get let's not get caught in the weeds here a little bit.
Put that on the Bolerjack dossier.
It's not important, but let's just say that robe was really nice and it needed to come home with me.
Is that the one you're wearing right now?
Yeah,
it's really good.
Yeah. Oh. Hey, look, you know what? All 4 of those seasons are well represented, if you know what I mean. So anyway, Come back home and then drive that Monday night to Laramie, and I'm at the Courtyard by Marriott in Laramie less than 48 hours later. And I'm like, and I was texting Jeremy and Locke, I'm like, this is quite the whiplash.
Yeah. Welcome to the world of broadcast. Courtyard Marriott in Toronto. Toronto's like New York of Canada, right? I mean, it's an amazing city. It really is. A lot of high rises, by the way. A lot of high rise apartments and condos in Toronto.
Oh, they've built
as
some
well.
things in Laramie, have they? Oh,
yeah.
you're talking Toronto.
So from that hotel in Toronto to the hotel I was at in Laramie, where they actually, one of the perks in this hotel in Laramie, they actually, every room you go into, they've got earplugs because the wind is so loud there. And there's nothing else to stop that wind. There's no high rises, so they give you earplugs so you can sleep well at night. Yeah.
They still get a free breakfast up there?
It's continental,
Continental,
so
sure. Yeah.
They throw a stale bagel at you and a tub of cream cheese, and then say, "Here, shut your mouth, enjoy it."
And a glass of juice, and you're on your way.
Yeah, but that juice can.
So in theory, you went from winter, spring, summer, and fall.
Yes.
All you got to do is call a long, cold winter.
Yes.
In Laramie.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Bowlers kind of lives that high life. I would say you and I are more the Laramie courtyard kind of guy. I mean, respectable. Do our best. We'll give you earplugs if there's wind.
We do our best. Hey, Bowler, when you look at this down the stretch, there are guys that I'm sure, weren't planning on talking about, Kennedy, you go down the list, all these guys. But one thing that's really impressed me with the development of Ace Bailey, and I'm going to throw Cody Williams in that a little bit as well.
Sure.
You know that there's going to be, those guys can score. That's just not a big deal. Like, they're scorers, and there's a lot of shots to be had out there. But I like the way that they are scoring. I like the way that their game is developed. So the fact that these dudes can score 30 points on any given night, not surprising to me. But I love the fact Ace Bailey getting to the rim, finishing at the rim, getting to the free throw line. Those elements of his game that are developing throughout the course of the season, that's impressive to me.
Yeah, Ace has come a long way. Filipowski's made the jump in year 2, Sensabaugh in year 3. You go Cody Williams, who was kind of on a fence, to be honest, whether or not that 10th pick was going to work out or not. I think since the All-Star break, he's maybe made the biggest jump. He's had a couple of games where he's taken a step back, but I think Tim can attest to this. Any player, the next level of the maturation is, okay, that's one of 82. Are you going to sit and pout, or are you going to move ahead and just say, let's play on? And I think Cody finally has passed that point where you can survive an 0 for 9 game and then come back and go, a double-digit 20-point night, or can Filipowski be more physical, which he has been this year? He's had, back-to-back double-doubles. He's averaged 25 and 10 the last 4. Senzabaugh's been on fire from 3. The biggest thing, though, is the conversation, I think, that will still be made in the back rooms of the Jazz executive offices will be who can play D, who can give it that effort each night, and also be an offensive threat, but also be a defensive stopper, and not worry about the shots. Scotty and Tim, that's the deal. Look, next year, Locke and I were talking about this today at shoot-around, is, look at the shots. How many are there really available when you bring back Markkanen, and you also have Keontae and Ace and Bryce off the bench most likely? He could start if he had to on given nights, but how do you distribute the shots on in a particular game? So even though some of these young guys are scoring now, they may have to take a different role when we roll back into camp in September and we start to play again in October, which there's a lot of excitement there. And I didn't even mention the Triple J man, Jaren Jackson Jr., who's going to demand his own shots and Markkanen. So it's a good problem to have. But you also have to know that these players have to understand their role. And I think that this year particularly has been a good one for them to kind of understand that. Many are out, and these young guys have been cheered on by the likes of Keontae and Collier and Markkanen and K-Love and others. So let's see how this all meshes when they get together again for camp. There's a lot of excitement, and there's 5 games to go, but you still got some work to do, and try to stay focused if you can.
Mom, can you tell me a story?
Sure. Once upon a time, a mom needed a new car.
Was she brave?
She was tired, mostly. But she went to Carvana.com and found a great car at a great price. No secret treasure map required.
Did you have to fight a dragon?
Nope. She bought it 100% online. From her bed, actually.
Was it scary?
Honey, it was as unscary as car buying could be.
Did the car have a sunroof?
It did, actually.
Okay, good story.
Car buying you'll want to tell stories about. Buy your car today on
Carvana.
Delivery fees may apply.
Bowler, I have the advantage of seeing you every single night prior to the broadcast when you sit down with Coach Hardy, get some thoughts from him. But I know over the course of that time, you've been able to develop a relationship. Just pull behind the curtain a little bit at what it's like, what Will's like. What it's been like to work with him, and the job that he's done thus far with the Jazz.
Yeah, Tim, that's a good question. A lot of people, coaches don't really show their, I don't know if they really want to pull the curtain down all that much. He's got a wicked sense of humor. He is to the point, which I do appreciate, by the way, and I think fans should as well. He's very open to a point, and I know he's got the best interest of his players, like coaches should. Tim, you know that. I mean, it's a good breakdown of talent. You don't throw anybody under the bus per se. You do that if you're going to do that in private. And again, I think it goes back to how he handled Keontae and just how he's developed this year and year 3 from year 2. You got to be up front. You got to be, gosh, man, you got to have so many different hats of psychologist, father figure. You've got to be real. You've got to be, your timing has to be right to deal with so many different personalities. And I think Will, for the time, is the right guy. And now next year, he's actually going to get a chance in his 5th season, mind you guys. I mean, that's hard to believe. He's going to coach. I mean, he's going to be able to coach and not just develop, because that process, is you never complete the task, but let's just say some of the hard labor is complete. And now you get to go out and let these guys play, and the schemes defensively and offensively that you believe in and draw up and teach, now you can actually see how it's going to work out on the floor and what type of wins and losses you truly get with a high-level talented team and a bench that can fill the gaps too. And it's exciting to think about in a five months' time, how this team's going to come together and who's going to be on this roster.
Craig Bolerjack, voice of the Utah Jazz, kind enough to hang out with us right here on 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone. Jazz and Rockets coming up tonight. If you had a MVP vote, who would you give it to? Oh,
wow. That's a great question. There's been so many guys in and out, Scotty.
Yeah, you got, Wemby. There's a lot of guys that are making a good push for it. You got Wemby, you got Doncic, you've got Shea, and I'm missing somebody else. And Joker.
And
yeah.
the Joker.
Yeah.
I mean, the Joker, man, we just saw him twice in the last, 12 days. He is a remarkable athlete. Doesn't really showcase it in the sense of, T likes to say, and I would too. I mean, is he, how sexy is his game? Well, it's not, but it's the most, potent at every level. I mean, passing, rebounding, scoring, complaining, all the above. But
not quite to the Doncic. He's not to the Doncic level.
Not quite. Those two guys are running neck and neck. But look, there's a lot of talent. And I think, when you vote, which I don't have one, but I think what happens is you look at also where the records land. SGA could easily win it again. Oklahoma City is terrific, deep. He is the leader, and everyone knows it. But it'll be interesting to see how the votes go down. Wemby has come on really strong, and I think is going to be probably SGA's biggest competitor, in my opinion. The Spurs are back, and they're obviously it's Wembanyama's team. Luka is a hell of a talent, but at the same time, I think you have to look at positions and where you're at. And, the West is loaded, by the way. Cade Cunningham probably with Detroit was in the discussion until about 3-4 weeks ago. But the West is where the dominant players live right now. And I think SGA and probably Wemby maybe 1-2 with probably 3-4 between the Joker and Luka. Is that anywhere near? I mean, that's just kind of off the top of my head.
No, I think that's pretty quick. I think that's about right. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Who are you going with, Scotty?
I hate to do it, but it's probably Shea.
Yeah, it's me too. I'm just, you got to give it to the best player on the best team.
Yeah.
Most of the time. I like to reward winning.
Yeah.
Does that make sense in the MVP thing?
For sure. And
because it also is it's that other piece of the puzzle of like, okay, how did you do individually, but then how did that reflect on your team, the position and where you are in your conference, and where do you're going to be able to solidify a number one seed throughout the playoffs? I mean, that's a heavy piece of weighing out, a vote and where it lands and why. And I think that's probably the tipping point again this year for Gilgeous-Alexander, for sure.
You guys will remember this because you both were around, but the year that Charles Smith won the player in the Mountain West Conference back with New Mexico, and they were dead last in the league, but he had these gaudy numbers, and he got the award. And I think that year was the year I'm like, okay, I'm going to drop at least my perspective to be they win it. Then you pick somebody off that team. But that one left a bad taste in my mouth. Charles Spider Smith, you remember him? Bowler used to call his games.
I do, absolutely. And I think that's where the argument too is with the Joker. Right now they're still in a solid 4th spot in the West as they've got a home court advantage. But at the same time, the triple doubles they come. But he's been out. And they've had, a hiccup or two, but right now they're playing incredibly well. And Jamal Murray has been I'd say that combination is ridiculous. The way they played against the Jazz the last couple of games, late threes. I mean, that's a veteran team, too, that they don't panic and they know how to win when they have to. And even though the Jazz have put out a couple of 10-day contracted guys, I was still proud of the fact that the guys busted, the backside and played hard, played some good D and frustrated the Joker and Jamal. But it always comes down, right, to the last 3 minutes of a lot of games, and veteran teams find a way. And that's kind of the definition of who Denver is.
Bowler, you're the best, man. We appreciate it. Thanks for your time, and let's do it again next week, okay?
All right, Timmy, sing it. Is Tim played his guitar yet?
I don't have it here with me, but I did try to call you. You must have been at dinner last night. Well, I owe you.
It's
fine.
Need a solo.
I love when you answer with and you're prepping and it's just kind of. But we'll do it again.
Yeah, I tell you, Scotty, the guy can. You got to be with Led.
I know.
Led Zeppelin or maybe Def Leppard. I'm not sure, but one of those two.
You know what? You got to fire up for Bowler though. How?
Oh, LaGrange.
Yeah.
The top. Got to do that one, man.
Loves him some ZZ Top. Thanks, Bowler. We'll talk soon.
All right, guys. Take care.
There he is. Craig Bolerjack right here on 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
Mom, can you tell me a story?
Sure. Once upon a time, a mom needed a new car.
Was she brave?
She was tired, mostly. But she went to Carvana.com and found a great car at a great price. No secret treasure map required.
Did you have to fight a dragon?
Nope. She bought it 100% online. From her bed, actually.
Was it scary?
Honey, it was as unscary as car buying could be.
Did the car have a sunroof?
It did, actually.
Okay, good story.
Car buying you'll want to tell stories about. Buy your car today on
Carvana.
Delivery fees may apply.